I'm fortunate to have you with me this Monday, starting off another week of programming, this time on the 14th day of November. That puts us, of course, about halfway through the month already, getting close to it at least. And weather-wise, we have got winter weather consuming your 7-day and definitely the coldest air and conditions that we have seen. Daytime highs in the 30s, nighttime lows in the teens and 20s, well into the teens on a few nights. But most importantly, my main focus tonight will be, as everyone I think is very well aware, of the school bus crash that happened this morning, that still at this time, and we so hope and believe that there is a very good chance that it will not become a fatality-related crash or accident. That's not to say some of McGoffin County's children have not been critically injured, as indeed they were. I'll have the most recent number of students believed to still be in the hospital at this hour. We'll go to the scene. We'll talk with our superintendent of schools, state police, and much, much more. And that will be our main focus tonight. And really, with myself being there for much of the day, the press conference and the like, and we'll talk about that more on your weather and your calendar, and that will wrap up this Monday. As there is, of course, at this very moment as well, starting at 6, there was a candlelight vigil in the Ramey Park that I'm hopeful to try to make it to the end of it, or before the end. With that said, please stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheryl Stalder-Cheney, podiatrist currently located in Syersville, Kentucky. I've been servicing patients within Eastern Kentucky for the past 20 years.
Our feet are the foundation for everything we do, and whether you're suffering from fractures or injuries, need custom orthotics, diabetic foot care, sports medicine, heel pain, wound care, or anything else foot related, relief is just one step away.
Welcome to Hope Family Podiatry Center, where we take care of all of your podiatric needs.
Located on the Parkway next to Hope Pediatrics.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a new phone, but really don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars up front for it? Appalachian Wireless has a deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage Plan. Instead of paying $600 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front and then a few bucks a month more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay. And it's called the Appalachian Advantage because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Just as quick as one arrives, it feels like the next is already about to begin, and Conley Tire doesn't want you to start any of the driving seasons unprepared. Be safe and sound and get there with the best offers on the best tires by the best manufacturers, all with service you've grown to trust. Go to conleytire.net or stop by in Staffordsville to find out more, or give them a call at 297-2424.
I have spent some time this afternoon asking myself, asking everyone here in the building, and a lot of other folks, some of which are older than I, and who would have some recollection for whatever various reason, if today's school bus crash indeed is the worst in McGoffin County schools history. We believe it to be thus far. A number of years ago, there was a crash that I can recall that involved 6 or 7 students being transported to hospital, some for serious injuries. Not to the extent of today's, however. It does appear, sad to say, to be historic in that nature. 18, that was the number after some time of digging that they could determine to be on board. 18 students and the driver. For rescue personnel, we spent the first initial hour or two unsure as to the exact number of students. And for a lot of us, it wasn't until the bus was able to be lifted up that we could confirm that everyone had been removed from the vehicle. It was just around 7:20 or a minute or two after this morning that calls started to come into McGoffin County 911. And as I understand, some of those calls coming from some of the students on board that bus themselves.
EMS from McGoffin County, from many of our neighboring counties to the extent that I just don't have the complete list, all responded to this single vehicle accident involving just the school bus on Route 40. Before you would get back to the Tackett Bottom area, as the bus was headed back towards Sagersville, there you can see where it initially went into the ditch line, breaking off the edge of the blacktop. It was there. After that, the driver, apparently, after losing control of the bus, attempted to regain control, appears to have overcorrected. The bus then left the original lane of travel, crossed into the other lane of travel, fortunately, no oncoming traffic, and then plummeted over an embankment that probably stands some 30 feet so or tall and probably at 75 degrees in angle, making it a very hard rescue operation. On the bus's way down, it struck a utility pole. When it did, it is believed that it flipped the bus 180 degrees, and then it landed on the passenger side, crashing into the earth below. At the same time, the driver of the bus 2030, identified as Wanda Bailey at this time, was ejected and found partially pinned underneath the school bus, and it had to be, after all students were removed, lifted to be able to free her from under the wreckage.
On behalf of myself and Kentucky State Police, just want to say their thoughts and prayers are with the families, everyone involved in the collision. That being said, at approximately 7:21 a.m., Kentucky State Police Post 9 was notified of the single vehicle collision in McGoffin County involving a school bus on Kentucky Route 40. The initial investigation indicates the school bus was traveling westbound on Kentucky Route 40 when it exited the roadway and went over an embankment. The driver and 18 children ranging from elementary, middle, high school were all on the bus at the time of the collision. Injuries of the occupants of the bus were ranged from minor to critical injuries. The details of this collision are still under investigation. When we have further details released, we'll update the press release at that time.
Trooper Coleman speaking at that press conference earlier this afternoon in the McGoffin County Courthouse. Also speaking there was Superintendent of Schools Chris Meadows, who I also sat down with at around 4:30, just before he was getting ready to leave for the University of Kentucky Hospital, where a number of his students had been transported for the severity of his injuries. Here's Mr. Meadows with the latest information that he could give me at the hour.
At this time, we can confirm that there were 18 students and one driver. There were no other adults on the bus. The bus did not have a monitor on it this morning. Age range of students would range anywhere from elementary to high school. That bus would feed several of the schools, so you would have elementary, middle, and high school students riding that bus.
I'm going to ask Mr. Meadows just because I have to, but can you give me any general statements as to the number, maybe possibly still hospitalized, and maybe a range of injuries? I know we can't go into any specifics, obviously, but just as far as how serious some of these students are hurt and injured at this time.
We don't have a great deal of information specifically about injuries, but we do know that it ranges from mild injuries where they would be treated and released up to some very serious injuries where they obviously will be remaining in the hospital. We have tried to call here from the central office this afternoon each family and speak to someone to gather information, and it appears that we might have still around 8 that would still be remaining in the hospital at this time.
Meadows also confirmed to me that just as they had to do just days ago with the death of a student in an ATV wreck here in McGoffin County, they too will be utilizing crisis counselors at all McGoffin County schools for any student who wishes to talk or otherwise about the accident.
Yes, actually, while I was still at the scene this morning, the ladies here in the office received a call from Frontier Medical here locally, and offered their counseling services to our students. And I had my secretary here go ahead and notify all principals at every school that resource is available. And of course, we also have a school-based therapist that we employ that visits all of the schools anyway, so he's on hand at all times to help with students in any time of a crisis.
Again, at this hour, 8 students still believed to be in the hospital, from serious to some in very critical condition, with a variety of injuries, and many of them very, very serious. Head injuries, back injuries, and otherwise. 2 airlifted from near the scene. The driver, Miss Bailey, was taken as there were no other helicopters available after she was extracted from the scene, first by ground ambulance to an area hospital and then flown to another facility from there. And all students known to be at Paintsville ARH, Highlands ARH, Pikeville Medical Center, and the University of Kentucky at this hour. The Kentucky State Police spent the morning and afternoon hours reconstructing the accident scene. The bus was finally removed around 4 o'clock or so. The road remained closed a period of time after that so crews could reset the utility pole that was just destroyed by the bus after it left the roadway. Also, something to note before we wrap up tonight's coverage of the worst school bus accident, I believe, in McGoffin County's history. In speaking with Superintendent Meadows earlier today, I asked him if cameras had been installed in the bus. He said that cameras in any school buses which have been ordered and are 2021 or 2022 models have those cameras on board as an option which the school had purchased, and that prior to today's accident, the Board of Education was already looking into retrofitting as many school buses as possible with cameras which could record incidents such as this or anything related to the transport of our children.
And again, as serious and as life-threatening as some of those injuries indeed are, we're so glad and fortunate and blessed to be able to say that no one died in that crash this morning, and I continue to hope and pray, as I know you do as well, that that will be the case tomorrow when I have an update for you. I'll be right back.
Banking from home or on the go has never been easier and will forever be an important and necessary part of life. And Sagersville National has been and will always be at the forefront of meeting and exceeding your financial needs and giving you the safest and most worry-free online and mobile banking so you can worry about the important things, like what's for dinner. They're there when you need them at the main and branch locations of the Sagersville National Bank.
At Golden Law Office, our attorneys previously represented the nation's largest insurance and trucking companies, handling cases involving serious personal injury and death. We know their strategies, how they will defend the case, and what factors drive large settlements. The attorneys at Golden Law Office can use this inside knowledge to ensure your case is handled effectively and aggressively. Hiring Golden Law Office provides you with a strategic advantage. Call Golden Law Office today.
Little else tonight, with the exception of our updated community calendar and an updated 7-day powered by Licking Valley RECC.
This morning, the North McGoffin Elementary site-based regular meeting that was set for tomorrow at 4 o'clock has been canceled. I'm told by school personnel it will be rescheduled. Again, tomorrow's North McGoffin Elementary site-based meeting canceled and to be rescheduled. Well, some holiday events are just around the corner, as are the holidays themselves. And if you haven't registered already for the Holiday Wreath Workshop at the Extension Office, do it. Do it now. It's limited. It fills up. It's fun. Everybody loves it. It's just $15, and snacks are included, as well as everything you'll need to make your own fresh pine wreath. So call to register as soon as you can, 349-3216. Another holiday bazaar and vendor fair cometh at the McGoffin County Extension Office Friday and Saturday, the 2nd and 3rd of December. And that's just a few weeks, ladies and gents. 10 till 3 on Saturday, 10 till 7 on your Friday. Vendors, if you would like to be one, $25 for 2 days for homemaker members, $15 for 2 days. To find out more, to register and pay, call 349-3216. They're also having a big holiday soup bean dinner that Friday. And also from our Extension Office friends, Country Ham orders through the Extension Office. This is where you get to cure your own ham, go through the process. It's super cool, fun, interesting for anyone of any age. And to register, you need to do that quick because these spots will fill too as well. Call 349-3216. 16. Nightly announcements, of course, on our community calendar are just as easy as telling me so I can tell everyone else. From there, I have funeral service announcements as we turn to this evening's obituaries for 85-year-old Donna Kern of Licking River Road in Gunlock. She passed away yesterday. The daughter of the late Homer McLeod and Mabel Dorland, her husband James Kern, and son Josh Kern, daughter Dawn Sloan, preceded her in death. She survived by her son James Kern, daughter Cindy Southwood, her brother Jack McLeod, and sister Betty Wagner. 3 grandchildren, 13 great-grandchildren, and a host of family. The family and the Sagersville Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements, says they will welcome friends for visitation this Thursday evening after 6 o'clock. There's just no denying it. Some things you crave all year long, but some of those things you crave even more when the leaves start to change and fall and there's a chill in the air. And our famous fresh-baked chicken pot pies are at the very top of that list. They're a warm, tasty, delicious snack or a meal in its own perfect little box at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sagersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy. The convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service. And the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown good neighbor pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sagersville, Fraser's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Going on to your Licking Valley RECC 7-Day. If you're one of those folks who needs a little push, just a little push to get you into the holiday spirit, say with something like cold weather to make it all feel real, well, you're going to love this one. For everyone else, not so much. 30 degrees tonight, cloudy skies, and we have between 4 and 5 in the a.m. tomorrow. A 30% chance of some rain, snow, and freezing rain as clouds will be on the increase tonight. And that 30% chance during the overnight early tomorrow morning, well, will become a sure thing tomorrow as we have rain, snow, and or freezing rain becoming all rain after 9 a.m. to the tune of 90%. Little or no ice accumulation expected. New snow accumulation could be less than a half an inch, and the rain will wipe it away really quickly, but might set the stage, right? Tomorrow night, a 30% chance of showers wrapping up before 7, and 32 for nighttime lows. Then look what they do thereafter. Not till I really flip the page. That's when it gets interesting. Wednesday, 41 and 27, windy up to 17 out of the west. Mostly cloudy but dry. Thursday, 38 and 22, dry, partly sunny, and a few clouds that night. And check that out. That is consistently cold weather. It makes it feel like wintertime. 37 and 16, and just a degree or two off of that at any given time from Friday through Saturday, Sunday, and into your Monday. Daytime highs hovering at 37, 38 degrees. Nighttime lows hovering at 15 to 16 degrees. Sure, a lot of sunshine and mostly clear skies for the most part, but cold. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and well, that's as far as the 7-day goes, but there's definitely an and there that we'll talk about later.
Again, thoughts, prayers, hugs, best wishes, and anything and everything we can do to try to uplift and help support all of our kids and their families who are hurting this evening. We wish them a speedy recovery. I wish to see you back here tomorrow night. I will have an update, of course, on today's bus crash, as well as some other news and information when we get back to our regular schedule, if you will. Thank you for being a part of the show this Monday. Good night, and I'll see you next time.